That morning, everybody had been exhausted from seeding, and it was a Sunday morning, so I let them sleep in. It was the 24th of April, and that was actually the day there was like a foot of snow that evening. And I just came downstairs and said I was gonna run out and check the heifers, which are just close to the yard here. And I was layered up with a hat on and everything else, and got out and checked the heifers, and I thought, okay, I'll go check the cows too. And they're a little further south. Went down there, and there was a dry calf following its mom. It had been there for a while, and it looked good. And I got back to the gator and decided, I can tag this calf. I can do it. And actually, a week before, I had told my husband I felt I was getting slower. We'd been tagging more together, and that I was trying to be more careful. And this was a familiar animal. I never had issues with her before. This was her third calf, and she was walking away from me, and I had grabbed the calf by the tail and pulled it across me and leaned over to tag her, and the cow just came right over the calf. She upped my face with her head, and I flew about 30 feet in the air and landed on the ground. And I remember propping myself up on one elbow and yelling for the dog as I saw her starting to charge me. And after that, she just started hitting me, and she continued to hit me until she moved me about 60 feet up against a wind fence where I hit my head on the steel footings. About the third time she hit me, I realized that she was trying to kill me. I got up on one elbow, and I had something in my hand. I'm not sure if it was a tagger. Kind of whacked her in the nose. I heard lots of noise. I was so afraid I was going to get run over, because there was all these wind fences in this contained feeding area, and the cows had all moved in there because of the weather. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, appeared this large cow, and she hit this cow in the neck. And there was 2 or 3 seconds of nothing, and the other cow turned her head, the one that had been charging me, turned her head and ran away. I was able to crawl past her and pull myself into feeder, and felt like I should just lay there for a bit. I couldn't breathe. And then I realized I needed to use my phone. Well, my phone was gone. It had fallen out of my pocket. My glasses were gone. I couldn't really see. I was really starting to hurt, and then all of a sudden I started to feel cold and realized that if I didn't get myself out of there now, it could be a long time before anybody found me, because everybody was still sleeping. I was able to get out the end of the feeder and crawl 160 feet out of the calving pen and pull myself into the gator and drive back to the house.
Oh, when I heard the gator come driving back, I thought, oh, wonderful. It's Sunday morning, and we'll have our Sunday coffee, and then we'll go tagging cows. But instead, I got to race to the hospital.
They did CTs and MRIs, and I had multi-fractures of ribs, and I had a fractured T12 spine. I had severely contused liver and kidneys. I had a head injury. I've had tinnitus since, and I had vision problems at the time of the accident. Just multiple things to deal with. Ended up with 9 superficial clots in my leg. I had a lot of soft tissue damage as well, major bruising, and was spent 9 days in the hospital there, and then came home in a full back brace and started my recovery. I just immediately thought, recovery is the important thing. We treated it like a full-time job. I went into physiotherapy on the 1st of June. I walked in the door with a walker, and I was signed off. I went back on my first 12-hour shift by myself on the 5th of September, and by then I was running 5K. There's definitely things in relation to the accident that I should have done differently. I was wearing a hat that he'd always wanted me to throw out because it impeded my vision, and I had it on that day.
we have to listen to one another when we have an issue. You know, if somebody says, hey, I don't think that's right or proper or safe, stop and listen to them and think about it.
Look at having a on-farm safety plan. Take a first aid course. There's even first aid courses specifically for farming. Make sure you have the proper safety equipment. Make sure you tell somebody what you're doing. You know, take a few minutes even before you go to move cattle. What's our plan? Who's going to be there? If you're going to do it by yourself, give a time frame. If I'm not back by X, do your farm safety walk. Pick out hazards. I mean, there's animals, there's chemicals, there's machinery. Your surrounding, if you're aware, like David said, if you're aware of your surrounding, it will make such a difference. And then make your plan. And even if it's just a minute, take that minute to look at what you're doing and decide how you're going to do it.